The quicker you start, the quicker you can fail, and the quicker you fail, the quicker you can get better at something. So I think when you go into anything new, just start. There is going to be a certain level of hard that comes with that. Whether you do something that's going to be hard, if you don't do anything, there's going to be hard. It's just like pick your heart. And then they'll get to a point where you're like, my life actually sucks. Don't feel fulfilled, don't feel like I'm around good people, I might be fat, unhealthy, and my life sucks. The people around you will see you for who you are, and they'll see you from a different perspective that you will never see. It can be help as well. What do you think my why is? What do you think I should do? This is what I think I should do. Write it down.
Today's guest has gone from chasing podiums around the world to building one of Gold Coast's greatest creative hubs. After a decade as a pro downhill mountain biker, he is now about storytelling, community leadership, hosting raw, honest podcasts like Off Track Experience and D&Ms with Dean. He's here to share with you all the lessons behind his reinvention. I'd like to introduce you guys, Dean Lucas.
Thank you guys, good to be here.
So we want to know, what is your biggest accolade? What's the biggest thing you've had in your journey to shape who you are today?
Biggest thing, I feel like it's hard to define it by one thing. I think it's always like a million little wins you do or achievements you have along the way. But I can't think of one particular thing that ever like changed my mindset or make me look at life or challenges any different. But I think it's one of those things that's just like once you start putting each foot in front of the other, no matter what path you're going down, you kind of get little bits and pieces from a million different things that you do. And I think over time, obviously, you build who you are through doing that. So I think for me, obviously, when you talk about like my racing background and everything like that, that was probably that time in my life was so pivotal because it allowed me to travel and go overseas. It put me out on my own. I had to be resilient. I had to learn all these little things along the way that at the time you kind of know, but you don't know fully until looking back. And you go, I was kind of Mr. Miyagiing myself in the terms of doing stuff like going to travel to Europe by myself. Like you get put on your own, you have to overcome, you have to be around new cultures, new people, new experiences. And at the time it's just fun and exciting, but at the same time it is very challenging as well. And I think all of those like little things that happen along the way obviously make who you are. So I think I was very blessed to be able to travel. I was blessed to be able to put myself in very high stressful environments with racing and traveling, which makes you kind of deal with pressure, deal with hardship, like injuries, all those things that come with it. So yeah, I can't define it to one moment, but I think it's just over the course of my life, there's been so many different things that have kind of got me to here.
So in hindsight, how would you say you navigated some of that uncertainty?
I think just kind of winging it, to be honest. I think so many of us try and make out like you need this perfect plan when you go into something, and then I call it paralyzed by perfection. And you think you need this perfect plan and this perfect strategy to overcome something or to achieve something, when really you just need to start. And the quicker you start, the quicker you can fail, and the quicker you fail, the quicker you can get better at something. So I think when you go into anything new, just start. Study what other people have done that you idolize or you follow, and just learn from them. Like look at what they've done right and wrong, try and attach yourself to them if that's a possibility. Otherwise, read books, listen to podcasts, like just follow them in any way or form you can. And I think that's the greatest way to level up. And then what I found that helped me a lot as well is like looking at yourself as being the biggest problem. Like you're the biggest issue why you aren't where you want to be. And as soon as you start looking at yourself like that, work backwards from there and go, okay, if I'm the problem, why am I the problem, and how do I stop being the problem? Like we're so quick to look at our issues as being someone else's fault or someone else's problem, and we love to play the victim, and the victim's such an easy role to play because it feels nicer. You can blame other people, it's not on you. So I think as soon as you stop being the victim, start looking at yourself as the problem, and then figuring out through watching what other people are doing, that's the quickest way to level up and to go further.
What do you think has allowed you, like, is the biggest driving factor for your current success?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think it's money. I don't think money's ever been a big factor. I think I'm driven a lot by experiences. I'm driven a lot by meeting new people and helping people. I think money is a great tool to be able to help more people and experience more life. But I think it's like, it's what kind of feelings you create from doing what you're doing. And I think if you're creating feelings that you really enjoy, whether it be through helping people or podcasting or competing at the highest level and pushing yourself, like that's what I always tell people to chase, because the money gets old, the flashy things get old, but it's like if you can do something that generally fills you up and makes you feel amazing, then like put all your energy into that. And a byproduct of that is normally money. So it's like, do what you love, do it to the best of your ability, and money will normally come after that.
Chase fulfillment. Do what fulfills you most.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you never ask someone, oh, how did you become this successful songwriter, or how did you become this successful gymnast or athlete or whatever. You don't say, oh, I did it because of the money. It's like you did it because you enjoyed it and you got better at it, and then eventually someone said,
here's a paycheck.
Yeah, it's like the whole, you've seen like the it's like Batman, the one that Heath Ledger in it, when he talks about when he's a Joker and he's like, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So I look at that and I go, okay, so if you're good at something, someone will pay you, but you need to do it for the love of it before you do it for the money.
What are you chasing? What's your definition of fulfillment?
Fulfillment? I really like helping people. I really enjoy helping people, connecting people. That's a big part of my life. And I guess part of the reason I built this studio was it connects a lot of people. I've met a lot of good people, like yourself included, through doing this and having my podcast and connecting people that way and trying to inspire people. I get a lot of fulfillment out of that. Like I used to look up to people like Tony Robbins. I don't know if you know who Eric Thompson is. He's a motivational speaker. Like people like that, where their words really motivate you to get up and do more. Because I think like the biggest thing for anyone is like the mindset around why they want to do something. Like if you can figure out your mindset, like everyone tries to work from like the thing they want backwards. It's like, no, how do you create your mindset so you can get that thing, not just focusing on the thing? So I think with motivational speakers or coaches or stuff like that, that's always been like a real, I guess, driving force behind me. And I like definitely idolize people like that can motivate like larger groups of people. So
yeah, you need to be the person that you want to be before you actually are there. You need to embody it. You feel like, no, once I get there, then I'll have it. But it's never going to happen until you truly embody it and you grow into the character that you need to or want to become, which is a really powerful thing.
I think a lot of people say like fake it till you make it, which I do believe in that, but I don't even think there's a point of faking it. Like if you have genuine belief in yourself that is who you are, like you will without a doubt create that version of yourself. And I would always work with young athletes, and I remember they would start doing really well from when I was coaching them. And I think the biggest thing that I saw was not my words, somewhat my words. It wasn't anything in particular besides the fact that I showed belief in these kids. Like as soon as I believed in them and then started to cultivate belief in themselves, they started doing well. Like they weren't really fitter, they weren't healthier, nothing had changed that much. I literally just said to them, you can do this. And as soon as we have the belief in ourselves that we can do something, that's when you do it. Like you always look at the the sub 3 minute mile or something like that. No one had done it. One person did it, then everyone did it. And it's so often in like climbing Mount Everest, whatever it may be, these like extraordinary feats that people have never done until one person does that. And then it's like, okay, now everyone has the belief that it is possible. So to be like a maverick and someone to step out and try and achieve something is normally very hard because you don't have that belief like these other people do. But then as soon as you achieve something, everyone else sees it's possible, and then they'll do it after.
Once the ceiling's shattered, all possibilities are endless, but needs to take that one person to go to the next level.
100%.
So let's tie that into what you're building at the Nest. What ceiling are you shattering at the Nest?
I just wanted to make like a cool space that I felt made people feel comfortable. Like even the name, the Nest, was I looked at that as like, you think of a bird's nest. It's like a home. It's where things grow, you nurture, and then it goes off into the world. So I look at the studio as where people come here, they create, they share ideas, and then what do? It goes out to the world, whether it's podcasting, videography, photography. And I just wanted to do something that was a little bit different. I like doing different. I've seen content studios start up with gyms now and do similar stuff that we've done. And I find it like it's a compliment when someone kind of copies you. It's like flattery, really. But yeah, I just wanted to do something that was slightly different and kind of stand out from the rest. And I think we've kind of done that. I think we do have one of the best podcast studios on the coast and one of the best creative studios on the coast now. So I don't think that's too bad I have no background in creative space or anything like that. This is the only creative studio I've ever been in. Like I think when you don't have a preconceived idea of what it needs to be, you kind of can do what you want. I think we get too stuck in thinking we know what's best because we look at everyone else. And when you look at everyone else, you copy what they're doing and then you don't become the best version of you. If you have a clean slate of what you think it should be, it's going to be your own kind of vision come to life. So that's what we kind of did here.
Yeah, you want to redefine the rules on what's possible.
Because
Yeah.
Isaac and I are actually going through something similar with Forge in terms of we've built something pretty cool, and it hasn't really followed anything. It's just been something that we've just created. But now it's like, hey, now that we've achieved what we've achieved, how can we really redefine the entire industry and create something that's actually cool and aligns completely with us? So going through that process is going to allow us to build something that is so unique and so tied to the fabric of who Isaac and I are, so that it resonates with as many future leaders as possible.
Yeah, and that's the only way I think you should do something. And the only challenging bit is, again, it comes back to that belief because it hasn't been proven. But then also, if it does work, you guys are the first to do it.
Yeah.
Like that whole like Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, he used to always say he loves when it hasn't been done, because if he's to do it, he's the first to do it. But I think people get really scared for that because, again, there isn't that proof that it does work. And people get scared about going into something that is untested, unproven.
So it doesn't seem like it to me. It sounds like you're not afraid to fail. So I want to go back to your childhood in the beginning. Where is this like mindset that you've been able to create for yourself? Where's the foundation been laid for that?
I think I sucked at the start and I got good at sucking. And then I realized that that's not what I wanted. So then I always tell parents, kids, everyone, like, fail before you win, like lose before you win, because I've seen it so many times in the past where kids will win from a very young age and they'll get complacent and they won't understand what struggle is, they won't understand what hardship is, and they won't understand what it like a work ethic is to overcome a challenge. And then as soon as life gets hard, they quit. But when you start off sucking and not doing that well and getting fifths and sixths and crashing and just not having that good of a time, you've kind of got to go to the drawing board and said, okay, what do I need to do better? And it instills this work ethic and, I guess, confidence that, if you put that work in, you will achieve something and you will get better and you'll see that progression. So I think my biggest strength was the fact I wasn't that good at racing at the start. I wasn't that good at sports. I wasn't really that good at anything. Like, it took me a lot of work to be good at anything. And I think once a person goes from not being good at anything to then really good at something and then one of the best in the world at something, you go, oh, it's not that hard. And I think I've carried that mindset with me into business or into anything. It's like, if you want to do something, all it really takes is hard work, surrounding yourself with good people, motivation, time management, like the really basic things to get to where you want to go. Like, if you can set out structure in your life and then work your ass off, like, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
You let go of all the distractions. You operate with clarity.
Yeah.
And the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
It's just...
I would always have young kids come up to me at races and they'd be like, how do you go so fast? And I would ask them, how do you think I go so fast? They would, without fail, list off everything that I did or they needed to do to me. And I was like, just do that then. So it's like, we all know what we need to do. Like, that's not the hard part, is figuring out what you need to do. It's like having the discipline and self-belief to actually do it. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. It's self-doubt. It's this, okay, well, I've got to actually get up every day this week at 4 a.m. and go to the gym or train or do whatever. And like, that's the hard part. You know what you need to do. You know, if I do X amount of work, I'll get X amount of return. But people don't want to do that. They just go, this is hard. I don't want to do it. It's someone else's fault, blah, blah, blah. So as soon as you, again, take the responsibility onto yourself and go, okay, I know what I need to do, and then actually hold yourself accountable, you can do whatever you want, really.
So how would you say that the mountain biking has shaped your approach to this challenge and risk, like this approach that you take to your whole life?
I guess it's, like I said, it showed me that you can get good at whatever you want. Maybe you just have to put the work in and be smart about it. And I think it taught me like everyone's human. I had people that I idolized that then became close friends of mine and competitors. So it makes you look at everything a little bit different in terms of, I look at everyone as just being people. Like, everyone's just normal. I don't really idolize anyone. Like, I admire people for doing stuff that's incredible, but it definitely changed my perspective on famous people, high-end athletes or whatever. I'm like, you're just normal. You're obsessed with what you want to do. Normally to a point, like, the thing is, it's like, normally when you see people, and I use Michael Jordan as a case study for this, is you normally have to be so obsessed with something that it's almost unhealthy. Like, most people that are the best in the world at anything actually have an unhealthy obsession with that thing. And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about very much because they look at people that are so successful as like they idolize these people. But to a point, it's like, fuck, man, you need to literally give up everything else in your life. And just that is the one thing, which can be a good and a bad thing. But it's almost this like unhealthy obsession with something to the point where nothing else matters. And I think a lot of people close to those people find it hard because that is their number one sole focus. But from the outside, they're idolized as these amazing athletes, which they are. But yeah, it comes at a certain cost as well. So I think people, it's like if you're trying to buy something, you want to know the whole like package that you're getting with that. So it's all what is it? There's no I can't think of the quote now, but something about there's only trade-offs. Something about there's no perfect outcomes, there's only trade-offs. And it's just like, yeah, what do you want to trade for what?
Life's all about sacrifices.
But yeah, literally like anything you do, I think that's another thing. Like no matter what you do, there's going to be something you can't do. And once you realize that, you go, okay, well, what do I actually really want to do? What's the focus here? Because I think even not doing anything, like that still has an outcome. That still has a trade-off to that as well. And also everything you do, there is going to be a certain level of hard that comes with that. Whether you do something from the outside very challenging, it's going to be hard. If you don't do anything, there's going to be hard. It's just like pick your hard. Like no matter what you do, there is going to be some form of hard that comes with it. At least do something that has a good outcome when you do something hard. I think so many people go through life with this idea that if I don't do anything, it won't be hard. And then they'll get to a point where you're like, my life actually sucks. Don't feel fulfilled. Don't feel like I'm around good people. I might be fat and unhealthy and my life sucks. That's hard. Where the person that has to get up early every morning, train, work on his business, make time for his friends, all these things, like there's hard in that, but look what you get at the end. It's like, pick your hard.
So what's been the hardest challenge that you've had to face throughout your journey, your life so far, and how has that shaped you to who you are and what you do now?
Probably spinal cord injury. Yeah, that would be.
That would do it.
That would be up there. Yeah, spinal cord injury is never fun, but that one tested me. That one tested me a lot. I think when I was younger, definitely I wasn't that smart at school, so I definitely I hated school. I was just not a smart kid. I had some trauma issues and stuff when I was learning to read as a young kid, and then I really hated reading. And then I was that kid at school when you get picked in class and you'd be like, and freak out and stutter, and I hated it so much. It was like a nightmare for me, which is funny because I pretty much started a podcast to get better at public speaking and wanted to talk in front of crowds and stuff, which is kind of funny looking back. But that was probably the first challenging thing was, going through school and not being good at anything and kind of feeling stupid and dumb and getting quite depressed. So that was definitely a low point that I had to overcome. And then, when I had the spinal cord injury, I just retired from mountain biking. Before the injury, I was already retiring. So I had 2 more races left. So it was done anyway, but I had 2 more races left, managed to hit a tree doing about 30 k's an hour and stretch my spinal cord and shut my body off, and didn't think I was going to walk again for a brief amount of time. But then came back to Australia, had just retired. So kind of the thing I'd done for 17 years that was my identity, that I got paid to do, that I was good at, was taken away. So I didn't have I obviously have an identity, but my main identity was kind of taken away. My health was taken away. And then me and my girlfriend at the time had just broke up. So I just remember getting home being like, fuck.
It all happened.
It's like things come bad in threes. And I remember being at home, laying in my bed. I couldn't feel temperature in my body. I could barely feel my feet. Had nerve damage all in my arms and legs. Could barely move. Was in constant pain. Hadn't been to the toilet in like 4 days. Like, not a good place to be in. Trying to figure out like, what's the move? What do I do? And I think I've had it twice in my life, but that feeling of like, what's the point? And that's pretty much like, what's the point in living? What's the point in being here? Because it's just like you are at the rock bottom of rock bottoms. You don't see the end of the tunnel. You're just in the tunnel. It's dark. No one's around you. No one understands. And to be in that is a very scary, scary place. And I know a lot of people live in that place constantly. So to go through that, and then I think just knowing that like everything does get better with time. Me and that ex of mine, we're still friends. That's all good. Obviously, I've got my health back, and then I know my identity is not based in mountain biking, and you can do whatever you want, and you're not tied to something you used to do. It's just a part of my story. It's not all of it. So, I think to anyone, like, it gets better. Just like you need to put the effort in and the work in to make it better, but just know that it does eventually get better.
Like in in hindsight, it almost feels like starting from that clean slate is almost a blessing. You had nothing to really tie yourself down to, so you could reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the world always works in mysterious ways, and
Mm,
I'm sure that would have been a lot of pain, especially at the time. But I'm sure it's helped shape you so much into who you are today.
100%. I think people look at rock bottom as being a negative. I think probably the biggest positive you can be in, because it's like you only have one way to go. It's only up. It's only up from here. You've got a good foundation to build on something. So it's like when something's kind of bad, you hang around in it or you hold on to it. When everything's set on fire and terrible, you've only got one way to go. There's only one way out. So I think people need to give more credit to rock bottom and more power to rock bottom and go, okay, I'm here. There's one way up. Let's go that direction.
Interesting. So for the entrepreneurs listening or the future leaders who feel like they're at rock bottom right now, and they feel like everything they do, all the things they're trying all these different jobs, they feel like they're just slaving away, or like they're in an apprenticeship, their money's just going immediately to rent and food. How can you help them in some way, shape, or form? Is it just...
Yeah, what did you do to go through the rock bottom in order to redefine yourself and create the person that you are? What did you have to think about? How did you go through that process?
I think ask for help. Ask for help for as many people as you can. I think especially as a guy, we don't like asking for help. We like to, we've got this, we can be macho, we've got it sorted. Like I just asked people around me that knew stuff about when I came to the idea of creating the studio, I just started asking people like, what should I do? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Like the best thing you can do is ask your friends, family, people you idolize, anyone, just what do you think? Give me advice. I think we suffer in silence way too often, and I think we think it's this proud thing that you can do, especially as men, which I think is absolute bullshit. It's like if you're struggling, ask someone for help. Everyone wants to help someone, especially if you do it in a way that kind of lifts them up, makes their ego go a bit like, oh, he's like, he wants to know what I've got going on. That's pretty cool. So I think ask for help and just realize that your problems aren't that big. Like zoom out a little bit. Like even for me with the whole spinal cord injury thing, like everyone started kind of going, oh, like you have every right to like take some time off or do whatever. And I saw myself becoming a victim of my situation. And you can say, well, fair enough, you had a spinal cord injury, but I look at it as like, stuff that, like a victim is a victim no matter what issue you've had to face. And it sounds harsh sometimes saying it to people that you know are going through something hard, but you kind of like get over it. Like it sounds harsh saying it, but it's like there's no point in like wallowing in a bad situation. Like feel it, understand, okay, that sucked, I don't want to go back there again. Learn from whatever lessons it's trying to teach you. Like Paul Chek has this saying called the pain teacher. And it's like every bit of pain you go through, no matter if it's physical, emotional, mental, it will teach you something if you're willing to actually listen and learn from that. So even when I'd crash my mountain bike, you could just say, oh, it's just unlucky. Like, what was I doing to have that accident? Was I not training properly? Was I not paying attention? Was I like, it could be something. And most of the time, the pain you go through is there to teach you something. And that's why when you see so many people that have gone through like loss and tragedy and overcome it, heartbreak, all of that stuff, it's like you see them as these wise, knowledgeable people that you want in your life because they've experienced so much pain and they've learnt from all that pain. It's like you always see people, you don't learn when you're winning. You don't learn when everything's going well. It's like when shit is hitting the fan and you're at the lowest of lows, that is when you actually have to like look within yourself and figure out what do I actually want to do with my life. And that's when you find the answers because you're actually trying to look for them. So yeah, I think just, like I said, look at what this pain is trying to teach you and surround yourself with good people to help you get to the next level of where you want to go.
So to me, like I've been through something similar to this. For me, there was a moment in time where I was like, okay, that's the moment where I decided to like not be a victim anymore and to just do whatever it took to heal and to create the life that I wanted. Do you have a similar story where there was a moment or a time where you were like, okay, look, I've been through this, I've crashed, I've retired, my girlfriend's broke up with me. Was there a time where it was like, okay, this is the moment where I'm going to just start working towards it? Or did you always have that mindset going through it?
No, it definitely comes in waves, but I remember when I was younger and I was going to TAFE for a welding apprenticeship, and I remember going there. I had to go there once a month for a week, and I remember that was like one of the biggest motivating factors because I did not want to be a welder. I did not want to live that life, and I remember going there was like I know what I don't want, so then I did everything in my power to create what I did want. And I think so many people don't have the contrast of something they really hate and something they really love. But I felt that, and I was like, okay, I'm doing everything humanly possible to create this life. And then fast forward a little bit, I had become a professional athlete. I had made it my job, and I think I got complacent and I wasn't pushing myself and competing to my highest level. And in 2017, at the end of the year, I asked the team I was riding for if I'd have a contract the next year. And they pretty much said, oh, we don't know. Now, to hear that and not have anyone else calling you, to not have any other teams approaching you and thinking, shit, I could just lose my ride and this could all be over, is a pretty daunting thing to have in the back of your mind. Anyway, I remember so clearly the day it happened, but my team manager called me and said, hey, like, we want to extend your contract for 2018. Like, we want you on the team, blah, blah, blah. Found out later it was because I actually offered it to someone else and he declined it. So that's how close I came for losing that ride, and possibly my whole career would have been different. But the motivation that gave me to realize that this was almost all over, like, it lit a fire under my ass. And then from that whole off season of the end of 2017 to the start of 2018, I worked harder than I'd like ever had before. And then went to the first round of the World Championships in Croatia, and I actually qualified second, and they changed around the format. So I actually went down the hill last. So I remember it was probably one of my most proud moments of my whole racing career. But I just remember back to that phone call and that time after that season where no one was calling me, no one wanted me on their team, and I was kind of like somewhat at this rock bottom stage of my career, to then fast forward 6 months and I'm literally at the top of the hill with the entire world, the entire industry, all the people I idolized looking at me about to do this run. And I turned that around, and it was just like that proud moment to go, okay, we did it. Like, we didn't give up. We actually made it happen. And I ended up getting third at that race, which I was still like over the moon.
That's awesome.
With. But it was like, it shows you that you can change your situation at any point, but you need to have a conscious conversation with yourself to be like, what do I want? How do I want to get there? And who can I surround myself to help me get there? And as soon as you start having those conversations and start writing this stuff down and like really going into it, like I said, yeah, you can do whatever you want, really.
And going back to the mentality, if you're a victim mindset at that point, you probably wouldn't have even placed in that thing. You'd just be like, oh, no, nobody wants me. Oh, no, I'm not going to be racing any longer. What's the point? But you took charge and you delivered, and you were able to capitalize on what you knew was possible.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to blame other people. It's easy to get angry. It's easy to be a victim. That's all easy outs. If you want to do that, it's fine. Yeah, sweet, it's fine. You can pick whoever you want, and they can be the biggest victim or the biggest criminal or perpetrator in your life. It's like when you turn the mirror on yourself and go, shit, it's on me. And you go, okay, that doesn't feel good. But then it comes back to the pain of not feeling good is going to be the pain that's going to motivate you to change as well. So you got to use it.
You're in complete control of your own reality in any way, shape, or form. Like, this is something that Campbell and I are going through at the moment. And to the point where the way you communicate, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you show up at the gym, the way that you present, everything, you can redefine how you want to be seen and how you live your life.
100%, yeah.
The mentality that you create for yourself as well. Because I want to dig even deeper into the mindset, because I love what you've like, the mindset that you have and the grit to just do whatever it takes to win, right? Where did that come from? Like, was that instilled by your parents? Did you go through, your journey through primary school, high school? Where was that moment where it was like, this is the mindset that it is shaping today?
Like I said, I guess it was just sucking at the start. Like, that was probably the biggest motivator. Also, I had an older brother, so I always tell parents, if you want to make a good athlete, have 2 kids and focus on the second, because I feel like the second kid always has to overcome more than the first. Just the fact that my brother beat me up, my brother took my food, my brother made me feel small, made me feel insignificant. Like, I love him today, and we loved him then, but like, you have to overcome adversity from a young age. Since the moment you are born, you are already behind. So I think that comes back into that learning how to fail early definitely helps you later in life if you like embrace it.
There's some people who fail early and then fail late as well. They don't break that. They don't break that rut. They just stay in there. They just constantly fail. They have that victim mindset, or they're not looking to succeed or looking to get out of it, looking to improve themselves. Like, what separates you from them?
Man, it's just I look at it as just like your own self-talk of like, how bad do you want something? And some people just don't want something that bad. They just kind of want it. They want it when it's convenient to them, when it's the sun's out and they want to go for a run now. But it's like, you have to want it at every single point in the day. Like, you have to want it when it sucks. You have to want it when there's nothing else you'd rather do than not do the thing that you have to do. That's when you need to go and do it. And I could not tell you exactly why people don't do it. I think it's probably just comfort. We love comfort. We are as a species, I think we're all kind of dying a little bit because of comfort. Life's becoming so easy. And I don't want to sound like this old person now, but it's like everyone has electric bikes now. Like, everyone has like iPhone. You can get whatever you want at your fingertips. It's like there's no real struggle anymore. And I think that you see that as, if you can just get everything you've ever wanted right at your fingertips, you don't appreciate things. You don't appreciate the struggle and hardship of actually achieving something. And I think it's just kind of somewhat making a weak generation of people that just give up too easy. They think they have bigger problems than they do, and they hold themselves and attach themselves to that. And I think probably for anyone, it's like, put yourself in a situation that is way harder than you've ever done. Like, challenge yourself. Like, really, you say like, oh, I've tried this, I've tried that. I was like, you haven't tried enough. So I think it just needs to be literally tough love. I don't think what you're doing is enough. Go hike for like a week in somewhere and like live off the land or something like that. Like, really test yourself and see what happens after that. Like, that will 100% shift your mindset. Like, recently, a mate of mine was at the gym with me, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do a fast. I've never done like more than a 24-hour fast. And he's like, I'm going to do a 2-day fast. Anyway, I did the first 2 days, and then I didn't realize you couldn't take bone broth or else I'd break it. So I had some bone broth, so I felt bad. So I'm like, all right, I'll do 72-hour fast. And it's just like, just from doing that, it made me appreciate food more, and it changed my mindset around like eating shitty food and snacking and doing all that. But like, it was hard. It sucked. It was challenging, and there was points I didn't want to do it. And then I came out the other side, and I was like, I feel better now. I feel like my emotions haven't controlled what I wanted to do. And it's like, you overcome that and you go, okay, well, what else can I overcome? What else can I do better? And it's like putting challenging things in front of you just to figure out who the person is behind those challenges. Like, you don't do it because of the challenge. You do it because you want to figure out who you are. It's like, okay, who am I if I do this? Like, I always felt like I would become my most insightful self after I'd physically push myself to the very limit. And we get figured out like, oh shit, that person's in there. Like, that person could do that. And then I think that's how you kind of go through life. You set these challenges that at a point in time seem impossible or overwhelming, and then you tick them off and you go, okay, well, what else can I do? And then I think there's a lot of fulfillment in that, by going down the road of seeing something that you once thought was impossible and then achieving it and going, oh shit, like, I can actually be way more capable than I ever thought. So I think just for people that are stuck in that, like, just go out and set a goal to do something new that you think is impossible or super challenging. And if you can tick it off, then do another thing. And then just like, it doesn't have to be big. Like, it could be a small thing, like run 10Ks, do that. Okay, fuck, I'll start with one. Like, I think everyone looks at their life, especially when they're not in a good place, and they have this like, either looking at other people or a goal that might be so far ahead that it seems unachievable. It's like little steps, baby steps. Like, I didn't build this business in a day. Like, it took me time to build this and grow and surround myself with people and learn. Like, the first few months, I had no idea what I was doing. And it's like, you figure it out over time, but it's like, it's all just these little steps in the right direction. And you start that, and then you'd be pretty surprised at what you can achieve if you actually like stick with it. So that would be my advice. Just start, surround yourself with good people, little steps, and set goals, and write down your goals and look at them and figure out your why behind why you want to achieve them as well.
I was following that 3-day fast on your social media. I very clearly remember on day 2 you said, whoever told me that this is give you the most clarity in the world was fucking lying. Talk us through. You're saying now that it's given you a lot, make you feel good and a lot of clarity. Is this like
afterwards? Yeah.
Afterwards.
Day after, or 2 days after, I'd say I started to like, I felt very clear afterwards, and I felt good. I stopped like snacking on crappy food. I was a bit more conscious of what I was putting into my body, but during it sucked. I was like, I couldn't even hold a conversation with people that came in the studio. And then so many people said, drink bone broth. And then I drank it, and then everyone's like, oh, that's not a proper water fast now. And I was like, okay, I don't know. But that's why I did the 72 hours instead of the 48, just to kind of make up for it. But, yeah. I would recommend to people to ease into it and don't go straight to 72, do like a 48. depending why you want to do it as well, whether you want to do it to, there's a lot of research on it, but just look into why you actually want to do the fast.
And the longest I've done is 24 hours. But what about you, Camel? Because you've gone through a bunch of different water fasts throughout your life. No.
Water fast is 24, but I've done like a 7-day juice fast, 10-day juice fast, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Your dad did a 3-week water fast.
28 days, 26 days, 28 days. Something like that.
Just water.
Incredible.
Just water.
It's wild.
That is.
Did he feel clear?
It cleared him out, that's for sure. There wasn't much left.
Fuck, it's wild. Yeah. I hear people say like, you get like, you hallucinate and just go a bit wild. I just felt like I had the worst headache and it was hard to focus and I couldn't hold conversation. But yeah, it was benefits from it for sure. But
The first 72 hours are the hardest and are the worst. After that, your body gets used to it.
yeah, well, that's what people are saying. Oh, it gets better. And I was on the last day like, this is not better. It's just, I need food. So yeah.
Because we recently did 75 hard as well, and we did it as a community, which was really awesome. So we had a bunch, 10 to 15 of us just constantly go on posting our workouts, doing things together. And that sense of community really helps it get to that point. So what kind of community do you have around you?
It's kind of hard. I'm a very sporadic person. So I've always found it hard to have like really core. Like I've got a lot of friends. Don't get me wrong. I've got friends all around the world in different places, but I've always found it hard and challenging to have really core friends just because I was always so transient and a little bit all over the place, to be honest. It's something I'm trying to work on. I find it hard I feel like I put expectation on myself when you become really close with people. So I've always been a person that kind of stays on the outside to a certain degree, which is probably not a good trait to have, and I'm trying to get better at it. But I do have really good friends, and there's definitely a community of people through moving to the coast. I feel like I'm very easy to talk to, and I can make friends quite easily. And I do enjoy, like I said, bringing people together and meeting people. But I probably find it more challenging to have like really, I'm not going to say, I do have deep conversations and connections with people, but they're always very fleeting, I guess. Because I also do want to have, it's one of the challenging things. It's like, I always look at people as like, do you want to have an amazing group of maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 core friends, or do you want to have 60 kind of really good friends that you kind of see now and then? And that's one thing that I've always struggled with, because I've wanted to have so many different friends around the world, on the coast, everywhere, that I find it hard with that core group. And every time I'd go places, I'm always like trying to meet new people and have new experiences and I don't know, get the most out of everyone that's on this planet. So I find it a little bit challenging to have like real core people in my life, which has its pros and cons, like I said. But I definitely feel like I've got a pretty good community of people here, especially like with the space, and a lot of my clients, like I love to bits and have great conversations. Funny, half the time when they come in to record, we pretty much do a podcast just talking when we're getting set up. So that's always good. And yeah, it's just, I think it's a balancing act between meeting new people to have in your life and then maintaining the ones you do. So you obviously can do it, but I always have struggled with that as well.
It's really interesting because Cam and myself are in the same boat. Even after creating this massive community, this big movement, is we still just have like your core friends, and then you still got great friends and people who you're connecting with, but you never feel like you can truly have those deep conversations, as you say, where you can truly open up and be vulnerable on that deeper level. So,
yeah, it is a challenging thing.
Yeah.
I want to know, you mentioned people need to find their why in order to do the hard, like seek discomfort to then be able to achieve like the success that they're after. What's your why?
In terms of,
why do you do what you do? Why are you creating the nest? Why are you continuing to push in entrepreneurship and self-development? Why do you do what you do?
I think like coming back to what I said at the start, like I like bringing people together. I like connecting with others. I think it's like I always think about, imagine if you had everything in the world but no one around to experience it with, how empty that would feel. So I think like people are like the core of my life and that's why I said I like to have so many experiences with different people, because that's where I get excitement and fulfillment from, and like being able to help others and having experiences with others is probably the biggest thing. Would be probably one of my biggest whys. Like even when I was competing like I got to see the world with interesting people and I got to push myself in the process. So I thought that was a pretty cool life to live. And even now, one of the things about opening this place, I feel like I've kind of trapped myself to one place for a little bit too long now. So I'm probably in the process now of trying to make it run on its own, well, run with a manager or other people here, and then branch out and go live a bit more life. Because it's funny when even this is being quite successful now. Like I said, I don't measure my success off money, because I don't know, just like I said, it gives you the freedom to go and live more of what you would consider your life to want to be. So if it's making money, I would happily let someone else run it and step away and go live a bit more life and have a few more experiences. But yeah, probably the why to, I guess, to be able to push myself, to feel like a certain level of freedom and to explore an adventure, and to connect with good people and to help them in some way.
Yeah, love it. How can others find their why? So our audience is filled with future leaders in their 20s. How can they go in and find their why? They assume it's failing fast, but what can they do? Well, seek discomfort, but
look at their life.
Yeah.
What do you do? Look at the things that you do, and then just ask yourself that question, why? Like, look at everything that makes you happy, that makes you feel fulfilled, and then just question yourself on why you're doing that. Okay, I play football on the weekend and I love it. That's probably where I feel the best. Why? Because I'm around my friends. Okay, why do you like being around your friends? Oh, because I feel connected with them. So like, connection's one of the big things. It's like, look at the things that you do and then work back on values that they present. So I always think about, where do I feel like my best self? What am I doing when I feel like my best self? And then you go, okay, I'm doing this. I'm like, why do I feel like that? And then you work. It's like, you kind of have to just re-engineer your entire life, and then your why is in that. But it's like, the simple thing you can ask yourself is like, what am I doing when I feel the best? What am I doing when I feel the happiest? What am I doing when I feel the most fulfilled? And who's around? Like, a good thing that I always think is like, when I feel my best version of myself, who's in the room with me? Who's around? Attach yourself to those people. Ask them, like, what do you think I should do? When do you see me being the best version of myself? What do you like? Just like I said, the people around you will see you for who you are, and they'll see you from a different perspective that you will never see. So like I said, ask people. Again, it's not so much, it can be help as well. What do you think my why is? What do you think I should do? This is what I think I should do. Write it down. I think that I honestly need to do this more, but I always tell people, I'm like, just write down everything you enjoy and everything you don't enjoy, and then try and create a life where you do very little of the things you don't, and then a lot of the things you do, and then just work your why out on that. But a lot of the time, it's very simple stuff. So people like being creative because it makes them feel good. They like dancing or being around people. They like playing sports. They like all these different things, and then work out, okay, how can I turn this into a job? Like I said, I love to travel and I love to push myself. So I became an athlete that could go around the world. It seems simple when you look at it like that. But yeah, just work back from what your life looks like now, and try new things as well, because you never know what you don't know. So
yeah, the only way you can end up doing is, as like you said before, is how their life is so easy, everything's so instantaneous. Do the hard things that challenge yourself and push yourself to that next level, because you'll never understand what is truly possible if you never try the things that you didn't know were possible, that you were capable of.
Yeah.
And
what's on the other side?
Yeah. You
find out.
You never know. Because that's probably what I'd find from some of the conversations that I have with the community, when they're saying, oh, I don't know what to do, but all they're doing is jumping on YouTube and just chasing the next biggest shiny object, and never truly committing to the one thing, and knuckling down. I think Alex Hormozi has this big thing about the focus, and when you got the cups, if you're splitting it out 10% of your effort across 10 different things, you can never truly give your full commitment or your full effort towards accomplishing what is truly possible.
Yeah.
How do you separate your time and attention?
Well, I think balance is absolute bullshit. And I think people look at balance within a day when they should look at it within a chapter of your life. So people go, oh, I need work, play balance, whatever. I'm like, no, your life is spread out over how many years? This part of your life is the part where you're working on your business, or you're working to be a career in being an athlete, or you're starting a family. Like, okay, when you're in that point, that is what you are doing. There's no like, oh, I want to like grow this business, but I also want to kind of do this on the side, and I also want to do this. I'm like, niche yourself down to focus on the one thing that you want to create, and put all your energy and effort into that. And then once that's to a point where you go, okay, well, I've done that and it's great and it's making me money and I'm enjoying it, but I kind of want to venture out, then venture out. But don't try and do like a million things at once, because you're just going to, like you said, spread your energy so far that everything's going to be all right. Fuck all right. You want to make something that's really good and that's proper. And the only way by doing that is putting all your energy into that one thing. Even, for example, when I was racing and competing, there was definitely points when I was focusing on my podcast, probably a little bit too much when I should have been focusing on my racing. And I think I spread myself a little bit thin with certain things with competing. And if I could go back, I'd probably... It's a hard thing, because you do want to obviously have enjoyment in other parts of life, but I think you need to do your job first, and then what comes after that, or even outsource to other people that can help you with it as well, is a great thing. Like, outsource everything that is going to take your time away from the thing that you want to create, and they'll probably do it better than you anyway. So they'll help you with your business by allowing you to have the time to do the things that you're good at. They'll do the things that they're good at, and you'll come together and like collaborate with whatever it is you're doing. But even, for example, with this studio now, like, I'm kind of doubling down on podcasting, because that's more or less our bread and butter. And I'm like, I want to be one of the best podcast studios on the coast. I don't care so much about the photo side of things, and market more towards podcasting and put in more effort for podcasting and get that to be the best version of that it could be, sorry. And I think, like I said, so many of us try and wear so many different hats within a business or a relationship or a sport, where it's like, no, I'm really good at this. Let's put all that energy into that. We'll see where that goes. And if there's a bit, once you get to a point when either you can employ someone or it's running smoothly, what other things can we do to help this? Like, I was constantly looking at other people's businesses recently and thinking, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, what am I looking at other people's business instead of just looking at my own and go, what do I need to focus on? Because we're always so quick to try and fix other people's problems or issues instead of looking at our own. And I started looking at my own and I was like, well, the podcast is the main thing. Let's just do that better. And that's why I said I'm creating another second studio here, and I want to really focus on doing some cool things that no one else on the coast, let alone probably in most of Australia, is doing when it comes to podcasting. So it's like, do that the best it can. And like, yes, we'll still shoot some photos, and yes, that's still an option, but it's not the main focus now. So my biggest thing to anyone doing something is just find the thing you're good at, realize you have to put everything into that. And yes, on the side, you can do a few other things, but this whole idea of balance is absolute bullshit. And people say it because then they can live a life of like, oh, I'm living in balance. No, you're just kind of half-assing everything and then saying it's a lifestyle choice. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Like, you need to become obsessed, like I said, with the whole Michael Jordan thing. I know when I was competing in racing mountain bike, when I was obsessed with something, nothing else mattered. That's when I did my best. So just become obsessed with the thing and then put every bit of energy and effort into it. And then once you've created it to a point where you can be happy with it, then okay, focus on the next thing. But you'll probably always look back and think that, oh, I'm glad I put that amount of effort into this thing. Like, I look back when I was training and still going to school, I missed a lot of house parties. I missed a lot of all this stuff that in the moment seemed like a big deal. And then I look back and I'm like, that was shit. That was nothing. And I got a professional ride at the age of 20, and I got to go travel the world because I didn't go to these house parties and I wasn't drinking on weekends. And I look at my mates at the time that were going out all the time, and like, it's like, don't look at people that are living the life you don't want to live and then trying to attach yourself to them. It's pointless. And this comes back to that. There's no proof in what you're doing, but it's like, okay, I have proof in what I'm doing now, but like, okay, if the world champion, would he be going out drinking now? Or
Success leaves clues.
Yeah. So look at the people that you want to be and think about, would they do that? Comes back to when I said the kids would ask me, what do I need to go faster? I used to ask myself, would the world champion do this? And that was the thing that I'd think about with everything. You go like, oh, should I get dessert? I go, would the world champion get dessert? Like, probably not, actually. Or like, I was like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, would the world champion go to the gym? Yeah, you'd probably go to the gym. And as soon as you live your life based off, would the person that you want to become do this or not do that? That's when you go, okay, well, it's a pretty yes or no question. Do you want to be this person? Yes. Would they do this? Yes. Okay, well, I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's like your Goggins alter ego. It's you've got David Goggins and you got Goggins. Would Goggins be the one who is skipping the gym? Would he be the one who sees the storming and says, no, I'm going for a run?
Yeah. So who do you want to be?
Yeah, creating that identity for yourself.
Yeah. Would the person I want to become do this thing? Yes. Do the thing. Then you're the person. It's all simple, but again, it comes back to the discipline and the why that you have behind what you want to do. Like, I can tell someone that you can go do all this, but if you don't actually want to do it, then like, I'm also a realist. I hate when people push other people down paths they don't want to go down. I hate when I see parents pushing kids down paths they don't want to go down. Like, my dad used to say this thing to me. He's like, I don't care what you do, just do something. And that was motivating because I knew he didn't care if I raced mountain bikes. He didn't care if I played tennis. He didn't care if I wrote a book. He would support me with what I did, but he never made me feel like I had to do it. He always said this, just do something. Don't be lazy. But I don't care what you do. I just want you to do something. And that freedom to know that like any choice I made was the right choice and he would support that choice was so empowering as a kid. So I'd say to anyone listening to this, if you had kids or friends or something, just support them with what they're doing. Don't push them into something, support them. And I think they're going to be more willing to do the thing they actually want. And they're going to just get to a point. If you push your kid into something and they're going to get to a point where they turn 18 or something and they have the opportunity to live life on their own terms, they're probably not going to do the thing you push them into. And you're going to put this pressure on them that's unnecessary, and then they're going to start a resentment towards you and them. So let them do them.
So who's been your biggest idol in your journey to be the person that you are today? Is it your dad?
He'd play a massive role. He's a very smart man. He invented sawmills when we were young. Well, I don't think I was born at the time. They already started making them, but he invented this portable sawmill, which got sold all around the world and changed our lives for sure. But he was always someone that probably instilled in me the fact, if you want to do something, go do it. Why not? And when I was a kid, I've told the story a few times, but when I was a kid, he learned how to fly helicopters and he built one in our shed out of boxes. It was like you get these packs are called roadaway helicopters, and he literally brought it in boxes and then built it in our shed with a friend of his while learning how to fly in Melbourne with an instructor. So you imagine watching your dad build a helicopter from scratch out of boxes and then learning how to fly at the same time. It definitely instills do what you want mentality. So he definitely idolized that a lot and definitely instilled that thing that, if you want something, go get it. Stop blaming other people, stop fucking around, just go get it. So he instilled that, and then I guess my mum probably instilled a certain level of care and love, and was a very gentle person. And I think the two very polar opposites, but definitely created. I feel like me and my brother are quite we're understanding, caring people, but we also have an idea that we go get what we want, and if shit goes south, we can kind of handle ourselves and all of that. So I think it's a good balance of both. I think you can get probably nurtured too much and probably have someone that's maybe a bit too strict and pushing. So I think, you need that fine line of, I guess, masculine and feminine. I guess we got a good dose of both from our parents. So I think both of them are very inspiring for becoming good people in different ways.
You've been on lots of podcasts. What is a question that you've always wanted to have asked to you, and it's never truly got around to it, and it was a part of your life that you've always wanted to share on camera?
A question that I've never been asked. That is a hard one. I feel like I ask a lot of questions. It's a question I would always ask people, but I would ask people what scares them.
Okay.
And it's funny because I'd always ask people what scares them, and then one time someone asked me, they fired back at me, and I was like, I actually haven't put that much thought in it. I really thought about it, and then I think my answer was hurting people that love me unintentionally, and I really thought about why that was, and I think there's, when you don't know why you do things, and you can create situations where people that do love you get really badly hurt. And I'm still trying to figure out to this point why I do it, and I probably need to see a psychologist and really dive into it to figure out why. But it's this, probably some trauma mixed in with it. But it's and this comes back to my avoidantness with expectation and friend groups and stuff. But I think when people get close to me, I get worried and then I pull away. I'm a very avoidant person. So I guess, I know it's weird. It's weird when you have quite a normal life. Yes, you've gone through hard points and life always kind of tests you in different ways, but pretty loving family, reasonable life, everything that happens, but then still feeling there's a certain level of getting close to people because you will get hurt. So then being avoidant from that, and then that scaring you because you know that the more someone can come in and show you love, the more you can run away from it. So yeah, that does scare me. But yeah, it was funny when the person asked me, I go, oh shit, now I got to think about it. But that's probably one of the big ones.
No.
But I need to think about that. What I've never asked, and what I want someone to ask. What's something that you would flip it on you? What's something that it's a big question, isn't it?
It's a very big question. I thought from all the experience you've had, and you're surrounded by podcasts as for your job, and all the podcasts that you've been on, I thought that there might be something where you're like, you know what, I've always wanted. We've never got there. I'm still getting into the podcast game.
I'm gonna think I'll be driving home tonight, and I'll be like,
12 months.
Oh, that's it. But yeah, on the spot, it's
It's all right.
Yeah, I kind of like I'm drawing a blank to that, and to like, yeah, what that could be.
What about you, Campbell? What's something that nobody really will ever ask you that you've always kind of wanted to share, or maybe you like haven't always wanted to share, but it's been something that's been digging a little bit deeper?
I've got one. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'll answer that question.
What's that?
I love that.
I feel like I'm happy to an extent. I'm going through a lot at the moment. I'm in a state of confusion at the moment. A lot is changing, and I feel like I'm going through like an identity transformation in terms of how I want to be perceived and how everything's going. And I still feel like I'm living my best life, and a lot's changing, but I'm always resistant to change. So when you're constantly trying to find to something that, especially in this ever-changing reality, when you're trying to shape it to what you want it to be, you want some kind of North Star that you can pull back to. When everything's changing around you, there's always something that can hold you there. At the moment, it's always my family, because your family never changes. But then there's a downside to that, because they only see you as the person that you maybe used to be, not for who you are right now. So to go back to your question, I'd say that I am happy. I have found a lot of different things for myself. So I've recently got into freediving, and it allowed me to really see the world for the true beauty that it is. Something as simple as underwater and the rocks and the coral. And you always knew there was fish and coral down there, but
you're present though.
You're purely present in the moment, because all you have is your breathing. You focus on just slowing down in a time where everything is so fast, and the speed that I operate at is so quick. You're forced to slow down literally, or you'll drown.
I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like you said, you think about all this change, and you're probably looking towards the future and what's going to come, and all these things that are changing. And then, you take yourself out of the present moment, which is most of the time why everyone's not happy, is because they're living in the past or the future. So right here, right now, life's pretty good, but we get distracted by what could be or what has been, not what is.
Love it.
Taking the reins. Alrighty. Well, anything else we want to cover in particular? I think we've had a really good conversation. I really love this. Really good. It's been great.
Understanding the mind of what it takes to be world champion.
I didn't quite get world champion.
Didn't quite get that. Was your third
I got
or second?
2/3 and a second.
Yeah.
So one off from winning a world.
What was it like winning second? So obviously they talk about it in the Olympics. When you win third, you're like, oh, thank God I placed. When you placed second, did you feel like you could have put more out and really won?
To be completely honest, the 2/3 I got were 100%. I was the third best guy in the world. When I got second, it started it rained in the morning, the track was a little bit slippery and wet, and then it stopped and the track started to get more dry, and then I went down and then it rained again, so the track got slippery again. So the guy that won had more of a disadvantage. So to be fair, when he won, I didn't feel that bad, because I was like, if I had won, it would have had an asterisk next to my name. People would have said, well, you only won because of this.
Okay.
So I think it would have tarnished the win for sure. So when that happened, I was like, yeah, like I didn't, if I had won, I wouldn't have felt like I had won. When I got the 2/3, like I was more annoyed when I got the thirds, because I knew I could have won and I had the ability to win. But my greatest, probably out of all of that, I got a 14th once. I had a really bad injury. I'd shattered my heel and I had to get screws and stuff to put it back together. And then 5 weeks after that, I ended up going to a race and I placed 14th and I'd ridden my bike like twice. And I remember that was probably one of my most like highlights because of coming back from an injury, not doing that well at the start of the season and kind of like being able to get that result. I was like, oh man, like it was so reassuring that I could still do it because I'd had a rough go. So probably that moment and then being at the top of that hill when I looked around and kind of went like the whole world's watching me now. And 6 months ago, no one cared about who I was or the race or any like me racing or anything like that. So I always tell people like a good analogy is try and win the race before it starts. And if you can look at the experience of what you're doing as being the win, if you can look at the place you are as being a win, if you can look at the people around you as being a win, like if you win your race before you start actually competing in it, that you realize that the whole experience of what you're doing is a win. And not looking forward of the result or not looking back at what you've done in the past and just, again, being present in that moment to go, right now, I get to experience something that I am extremely good at while the whole world gets to watch me in a foreign country. And this is amazing.
Yeah.
And once you can channel that and realize that, yeah, you have won, like everything past this point is a bonus and you get to do something that other people would only dream of and you get to experience that right now and be happy in that right now. I would always get that mindset. I'd always do well because you realize you take all this fear out of what you're about to do. Like my dad had this analogy when he was a rigger and he'd work on buildings and he'd have to walk on a beam. He said people, and it'd be like 20 meters up in the air and people wouldn't do it because they'd be so scared of the fall. And he used to always just say, look at the beam. And you can use that in life because we look at the failures, we look at what if, we look at everything going wrong. And then what do? You fail, you fall. So if you can look at the beam, if you can look at the exact thing that you want to do and be present in that moment while you look at that thing, then you'll achieve it and you'll get across the other side. So it's having that focus to go, what do I want and how do I get it? And it's being here right now and shutting all the noise off, all the doubt, all of that, and just going, I'm going to walk across this thing and get to the other side. And that can be in a sport, in life, in business. It's just walk across this thing, get to the other side and enjoy the process.
I absolutely love it. It's so relevant. Like it's legit. Like from my understanding, well, from what I believe in, it's just a blueprint. You just laid out the blueprint for people. If they actually followed that, they'll be able to live live the life that they want. Most people won't follow it though.
Yeah.
So is there any inspiration, any motivation that you can give the people who won't follow it to, actually be able to chase their dreams? Is it just purely up to them, or is there anything that we can do to help?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Just picture your life if you keep doing what you're doing. Just people look at this, like I use visualization a lot in my life, but I use it for a positive reason. I used to always look at myself as being the world champion or winning the race, and I could pull a lot of emotion out of that. But flip that. Visualize yourself if you keep doing what you're doing. If you keep going down the path you're doing, look at yourself in 5-10 years. Is that who you want to be? Like sometimes people need to get a fire lit under their ass because they need to see what their life is about to become. It's like, the whole analogy about putting a frog in water, like boiling water, how it'll jump straight out, but over time, it's like we are all in that boiling water over time. It's like if you have something that wakes you up, and that might be visualization, seeing yourself in 10 years, working the shitty job you don't like with the girlfriend you don't want to be with, in a town you hate. Go, do I want to be here or do I want to change that? And like I said, it's scary to change things. Like I was nervous as hell to move to the Gold Coast. I was nervous as hell when I first started racing overseas. Like it's nerves and excitement are the exact same thing. You just need to differentiate both of those things. And if you look at something that makes you nervous, okay, there's probably something in that. That's also excitement. Let's lean into that. But yeah, use visualization as a positive and a negative, and that can sometimes pull you out. But you need to really feel, like, don't just go, oh, like what would it be like doing that? Like feel it. Like I used to be driving to the gym in my car, picturing myself in Europe, winning a race and having the crowd around me, having the noise, everything. I'd be crying in my car going to the gym because I would like feel, and it would motivate the hell out of me because I wanted that so badly. And the irony of this is when back in 2015, I got my first podium in Switzerland and I'd finished and I'd got third in the end. I was happy. Like I was definitely happy, but I didn't cry. I pulled more emotion out of that experience driving in my car to the gym 4 months before than I actually did living it. And I talked to someone about it, and they said, yeah, because you've experienced it. It was the second time you've experienced it. You experienced it in the car. You felt it. And sometimes we need to pull motivation out of something that doesn't even exist yet to push yourself into making it exist. So if you can, I think visualization is such a powerful tool for people. Like, look at yourself and look at your life you want to create, and that will motivate you into getting that life. And sometimes it'll motivate you more than when you actually do get it. But then it's like, okay, on to the next thing. So
in terms of creating that environment where you're in your flow state to visualize all these things, like what does that look like to you? So some people, you can mention like meditation, and people just think it's like, it's not necessarily like that. What does visualization and taking the time for that look like to you?
For me, like I said, I'd do it a lot of the time when I was driving. You could do it like in a dark room or quiet room or at home. I think wherever works for you. I don't think there's any blueprint exactly how you should do something. I think if it feels right for you, lean into it. Wherever you get motivation, take it. But if you can just picture yourself in the position that you want to be in, and then really like narrow down details. How do you feel? What are you wearing? Who's around you? Like every part of that, like see it in your head, exactly that moment, and then think about how that would feel. And that feeling will motivate you to get up early the next day. It'll motivate you to maybe message someone to help you out. Like wherever you can find motivation, take it. Like there's no like, oh, I get motivated from this or that, or where should I put, like wherever it is, man. You get it from opening the fridge and you see like something in there that's healthy and you're like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't think there should be one particular thing you get motivation. If you get it from friends, family, going to the gym, whatever it is, like motivation's motivation. Get it, take it, use it, but don't feel like, oh, I only get it from this one thing. It's like, no, it's everywhere if you like look hard enough. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I go, oh shit, you need to get fitter. Like use that motivation. Like it's wherever you want to find it, or your friend gives you shit or whatever it may be. Like I just think, yeah, motivation's good wherever it comes from. So don't try and narrow it down to only get it from one place. It's wherever you can get it from.
And it's the same as in business or life. It's just like momentum. It's the wave. It's gonna end eventually. So you want to keep riding that as long as possible, so you can, until you get your next source again. Because when you're going through those dark times, you know that another one's coming, and you can get excited for that next wave to come through.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know people always talk about like motivation and discipline eats motivation for breakfast and all this. I'm like, to me, it's all the same shit. Like, get up and go. If you're getting up and doing it, who cares what you call it? If you're getting up at 4 a.m. to go for a run because you want to, like, is that discipline? Is that motivation? Who gives a shit? Just go do it. Like, figure out the things you need to do. I always think writing it down would always help for me. If I wrote it down, it was like that little bit more of accountability. And I'd always try and, when I was training, competing, I had a calendar, and I just know every day at the end of the day, I'd write down exactly what I did to progress, whether it was I ate healthy today, I trained today, I did this. And if you get to the end of the day and you go to write down nothing, man, that hits hard. And you can look back. I remember looking back at my calendar the year that I went and qualified second and then went down last. Like, I could look back at my calendar, and every day there was like 2 or 3 things, like real positive things. Like either it was a heavy gym session, or like I ate really good food today, or I rehabbed, or like whatever it may be. You look back and you're like, that's how I did it. Like it's right there. Like almost take a photo of that. And like when the kids ask you, how do you go faster? Just take a photo of my calendar. This is how. Be consistent, work your ass off, do good things, train, surround yourself with good people, ask good questions, look at yourself as being the problem, and then work back from that and how to fix it. Like do all that stuff and you will get to where you want to go.
So where you're wanting to go, what does your future dream life look like to you?
Being a bit of a nomad, traveling the world, I reckon. That's kind of where I keep. Have you seen like is it the Interesting Life of Walter Mitty?
Yeah, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Life of Walter
Oh
Mitty.
mate, I love that movie.
Just imagine that, but maybe with some podcasts thrown in around the world. I look at that all the time. I used to idolize, and I still do, like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Because I look at him as someone that from the outside wasn't too bright, but he got to live this incredible life from just being a good person and pretty much saying yes to things. So I look at that and I go, how do you live this incredible life? I'm like, be a good person, try new things, and just like stick to your values, and try and see the world as the best possible version of it you can, and push yourself, challenge yourself, and say yes to a lot of things. That's probably that's where I see my future going. Currently, I think eventually probably want to settle down a bit more and probably have kids and stuff like that. But right now, I think I'm still very much in the mindset of I want to get this place so it can run itself and go on to the next adventure.
Couldn't you see yourself having a family on the Gold Coast, or is it in that nomad lifestyle somewhere else?
I think it would have to be here, there, and everywhere. Like, I remember someone asked me where I wanted to live, and I just said nowhere for long. Like, I like moving and being in new places, and it comes back to the new experiences, new people. So I think I could definitely see myself getting based here, but I still think I'd like to be able to see the world. But yeah, it's trying to set your life up so that's a realistic thing. Like you said, like it's to live life is expensive, let alone to do it with the family and want to travel at the same time. But that comes back to, okay, make more money. Yeah. Like I remember I moved into this nicer apartment and I had a friend that's like, oh, it's expensive. And I was like, it's okay, I'll just make more money. Like, we can, again, it comes back to that like victim, poor me, this is going to be hard mentality. Like it doesn't get you anywhere. You go, okay, you want to live this lifestyle. How do you live that lifestyle? Work harder. Like it's all pretty simple. And then people are like, oh, it's like, either like I hate people that complain and don't change their situation. Like shut up or work, like just shut up and work harder. I don't want to hear it because it's like, I would tell you what I think you should do. And if you don't listen, don't keep coming back to me saying the same thing. Yeah. It's like people, again, love to complain. They love to be the victim. They love to say it's too hard. And where it's like, I just have very little bandwidth for that now. It's like, okay, if you have an actual issue, I will listen to it and I'll give you advice. But then if you come back and have the same issue, I'll just be like, okay, we're done. This is not working. And it's like, you can be a savage for doing it, but you realize that, you only have a very limited amount of time and that people are in your life that steal it on bullshit is not worth it. And you should just, I think it's good to not cut them out in terms of like you never talk to them, but just really limit your time with them if they're not actually serving you in any way that you'd want them to. And if they've got such a big problem with that, then it's like they probably aren't that good of a friend. If they see it and go, oh shit, maybe I do need to do better, then keep them in your life. But if they get annoyed and pissed off because they're being a victim, then like, man, do your thing.
Well, this has been incredible. I've loved the conversation that we've had.
Perfect.
Who in your network would you like to see on here on the podcast next?
Oh, it would be a good one. I'm trying to think of. Have you guys done Cooper Chapman?
Cooper Chapman, no.
He's like an ex-pro surfer. He's just come up with a book as well. He'd be a good one. He's an entrepreneur, ex-athlete, similar vibe to me. We live similar lives in different sports, so he'd be a good guest for sure. I've
done Matt Schramer, so he was good during like the professional sport going into the business. Yeah. I love those interviews. It's so fun.
Cooper Chapman, he's an absolute legend. He's got he runs an organization called the Good Humans Factory, which works around all mental health. Oh wow! So he'd be a great guest. He's a really good speaker as well. Yeah.
All right, appreciate it.
Get him on.
Love it.
All right, well, for the people listening at home, where can they best find you?
My Instagram is Dinos Mykonos. Mykonos is obviously not my last name, and I'm not Greek at all, but that's my Instagram. Or you can come check out, the Nest Burley is my business that I run. So if you want to check that out, if you ever need to record a podcast or do a photo shoot or run an event, come see me. And also have my own podcast called D&M's with Dean, where I chat to athletes, musicians, sex educators, sports people, surgeons, everyone. Yeah, so if you want to listen to more of me talk, that's D&M's with Dean. So any of those platforms, you better find me.
Oh, perfect.
Love it.
Dean Lucas, everybody.
Thank you very much, Dean. I appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.